Sundown in South Dakota, that's where Week 11 of the Simulation Football League season concludes. Two of the league's longest tenured teams face off tonight as a whole host of squads jockey for postseason positioning. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Liberty Park in South Dakota. Alongside producer extraordinaire Cameron Irvine, our statisticians Jason McGee and Josh Neal, and my partners Stephen Hacker and Rochelle Colston, I'm Tim Hackett. You're watching the Simulation Football League presented by APM Music live on YouTube. Happy to have you with us. Great matchup to round out the week, Stephen, as two teams that have been in this league for at least 12 seasons meet up for the 13th time.
Yeah, and whenever these two teams play, you can expect a great matchup. Both of these coaching staffs, I know they're looking forward to this matchup. Queen City coming into this ball game, Tim, they're 4-4. Sioux Falls is 5-4. So with the playoffs in sight, both of these teams need a win tonight, Tim.
Let's go down to the third member of our crew for more on how these two teams planned for this week. Rochelle Colston.
Right before the start of the game, I had the chance to speak to owner and head coach Jason McGee, the Sioux Falls Sparrows, about what his team needs to do today to beat QCC. Offensively, they will need good first down plays while taking advantage of QCC's defense and overcommits on the runner's pass. Basically, their plan is to select quarterback Tyree and running back Cook. Defensively, Sioux Falls wants to concentrate on the fullback Commissar. They believe this QCC security blanket in a very unique fullback loose league. Their plan is to take away his consistency and disrupt his routes while continuing to take plays. I also had a chance to speak with QCC's head coach, Commissar, about his keys to success for this game. Offensively, QCC's biggest plan is to play ball control while minimizing errors. They also want to spread the defense to provide better matchups for their O-line to enable Jet Zero to pound the ball up the middle. Defensively, QCC feels that Sioux Falls has developed such a diversified attack that it is hard to focus on just one aspect. However, Chris believes the main key to their success is to focus on running back G.P. Wells in order to disrupt the rhythm they like to develop on. Back to you, Tim.
Rochelle, thanks so much. Stephen, hearing that, you've been in this league for a long time. I'll get your thoughts on this first drive about how you think these two teams are prepared for this matchup. It's going to be a doozy. It always is between Queen City and Sioux Falls. The Sparrows at home at 5-4 will kick off. Queen City on the road, white tops, black bottoms. They will receive. They are at 4-4. We are underway in the final game of Week 11 of Season 18 of the Simulation Football League. Two teams that have been in this league for almost the entirety of its duration, including Queen City, which has been a part of this league in one incarnation or another since the league's inception. So, Stephen, you've been a part of this league, maybe not quite that long, but a long time nonetheless. So, hearing what you just heard from Rochelle, what do you think about how these two teams match up today?
You know, I think that both coaches did a really good job. I think they scouted correctly. You know, if Sioux Falls is looking to take away Commissar as the security blanket, I think that's the right choice. Commissar gets a 14% target share in this offense, Tim, and he really is. He's kind of that check down option for them. So I think Sioux Falls did their homework, adjusting to Queen City because they didn't start the season out that way, and it's been a recent thing that they've got Commissar going.
Both of these teams know how to spread the ball around, but on the ground they will go. First play of the game is a carry to Jet Zero. Queen City with the ball on offense. They're 4-4. They've won their last two games after they lost the two prior to that. A.J. Caswell will throw to Jet Zero, his first catch today, and he's stuck at the end of it after a gain of about 5.
Yeah, and Zero is going to be, you know, like Commissar, Coach Chris Commissar said, you know, they're going to use him to try to maintain clock possession of this game, and you know he is a grinding type back. He can take those hits. He can be that workhorse back for your offense.
Does not catch the ball very much this season, Zero. They will try to hand it off, and Caswell gets hit on the play. I've never seen anything like that in this league, Stephen Hacker. It's James Kelly, the defensive end, who ends up taking Caswell down. A failed handoff and then a gain of 1 on the play. It'll go down as a run for Caswell, but either way, it's 4th down.
Yeah, crashing in there, James Kelly, 6'4", 282. Got the pressure on Caswell. Tim, interesting fact for the Corsairs, A.J. Caswell only been sacked twice the entirety of this season, so very interesting there. But Sioux Falls applying the pressure early here.
And one will technically go as a gain of 1, but just barely. Great return now for A.J. Levy, who's one of the best kick and punt returners in this league. Only 8 punt returns all season, Steven, but 6th best average, better than 5.5 per return, and that was a lot better than that. So an early 3-and-out stop for Sioux Falls, which has been terrible defensively on third downs this season. The worst third down defensive team this season through 9 games for the Sparrows. They get a third down stop on that hit on A.J. Caswell. So now Julian Tyree, their 13th year quarterback, will go back to pass. Play action, looking this way, caught for a nice gain on the first play of the game. That is A.J. Warren, number 15 in the black and gold. He has not had a big season for Sioux Falls. He's one of the longest tenured members of this team, Steven, and he picks up 8 there.
Yeah, and definitely interesting there, going out with the play action on first down. I think they were trying to get Queen City to overcommit there, but a play went to the right side. Lefty adjusted. Julian Tyree made the nice throw there on the right sideline.
Just 19 catches this season for Warren. He did not have a catch last week, and he's got one on Sioux Falls' first play. Here's G.P. Wells, the 3rd overall pick in the most recent SFL draft. Nice gain for him. First down, Sparrows.
And Tyree and the Sparrows offense really wants to keep the chains moving, and a healthy dose of G.P. Wells is going to do that for him.
Rookie was the 3rd overall selection coming out of Memphis in the most recent draft, trying to supplant Colin Hart, the all-time great league running backs who moved to Louisiana in the offseason. Tyree to throw to the top of the screen, and a short gain this time. They'll give him 1. Here is the offense for head coach Jason McGee, who's also the offensive play caller. That was J.J. McGee on the reception for Sioux Falls. Julian Tyree is the quarterback. G.P. Wells, the tailback. Charlemagne Cornelius, the fullback. 4 wide receivers, Al Dillapre Sr., K. Marion, A.J. Warren, and Noe Terrazas. The tight end is Caesar Ackerman, and the kicker is rookie Zashtel Black. Fitting name for a team that wears uniforms like this. From the 40, Sioux Falls in enemy territory already. Run to Wells, and he is stood up immediately. Great hit at the line by Andre Krim.
And a good push from the front 7 of the Corsairs. Got exactly what they needed, a 3rd and long. Now, Sioux Falls has some dynamic playmaking wide receivers. Queen City really needs to put the clamps on to keep Sioux Falls out of scoring field position.
We know that this team knows how to spread it out. They've got 4 players that have 40 or more catches on the season, including the tailback Wells, who's out of the lineup here. Tyree throws right at the line to gain. They get the first down. Hit from behind by Jared Crow, and the catch is made by the rookie tight end Caesar Ackerman, just his 9th catch this season.
Yeah, and a great route by the rookie to get the separation there on the inside, had man coverage, and Sioux Falls moving the chains, keeping this drive alive.
We mentioned those 4 players that have 40 or more catches. Not him, rookie from Memphis, just 9 catches on the season, but that's a big time for him. Tyree, short throw, that's caught in stride, and a short gain of about 4 over the middle for K. Marion, 2nd year with Sioux Falls, 3rd year wide receiver in the league, having the best season of her career.
Yeah, and she really is a dynamic receiver. The biggest threat, in my opinion, on this offense is in terms of receiver, has the big play ability. Expect her to Tyree to take some shots to her later in the game.
It's rare to see them target her that short, to your point. On the ground they go. Wells is thrown back after a short gain. Nice tackle by Cody Griffin, who was a standout last year as a rookie. Made the All-Star game as a rookie. That doesn't happen very often.
Yeah, very tough to get the recognition as a rookie to be credited to the All-Star team, but he really had a great season last year, and continuing it here this season.
3 picks for him this season. He's one of the league leaders in that category a season ago. Another 3rd down for Sioux Falls. The give to the left side, and Queen City was ready for that one. Wells had the carry. David Tilley makes the stop. 4th down.
And a very healthy David Tilley there in the middle. A huge presence for the Corsairs, makes a nice stop there to force Sioux Falls to settle for 3 points.
One of the best defensive tackles in the SFL, no question. 16 tackles for loss, good for 2nd before this week. Wasn't one right there, but it stopped Wells with no gain. And so now Zashtel Black, another rookie from Memphis, the 3rd one of those on this Sioux Falls offense, comes on and boots it away from 40 yards, and the Sparrows force an early punt and then turn that punt into 3 points on their first possession.
Yeah, really looked comfortable too, Tim, as they were methodically trying to move their way down the field. Didn't really take any deep shots. They just were stayed pretty conservative the whole way down the field, but didn't need to take any shots here early. I think they were just filling out Queen City, and it led to 3 points. But again, K. Marion, the one target underneath, I expect a big play out of her. GP Wells wasn't really targeted as a receiver yet, so I don't think I don't think Sioux Falls has opened up their playbook all the way yet.
Super balanced first drive, 4 runs, 4 passes. A couple of different players get involved, 4 different pass catchers on that first drive for Tyrese. So really all systems functioning as usual on that first drive for the Sparrows, and it results in a field goal for Zashtel Black. He now has 22 on the season. That is also second most in the league coming into action this week. He hasn't made every single kick that he has attempted this year, but he has made quite a few. Sioux Falls needs to convert more of those into touchdowns, but it's worked for them so far. They're 5-4 and right in the thick of the playoff race. AJ Caswell will throw. Over the middle it goes, and that's caught for a first down and a gain of about 12. First down today for Queen City, James Matthew Jr.
Yeah, and a huge target is at 6'7". That's a big tight end out there. Hard for anybody to cover, and Caswell just went to the well on that one. That's a relationship he's had for a while, and it's as steady as she goes there.
11th season in the league for AJ Caswell. This is now his 6th season with James Matthew Jr. as one of his pass catchers. Here goes Jet Zero, tripped up after a short gain right near the line of scrimmage by Derek Williams. Second-year linebackers had a really good year.
And Sioux Falls typically has really good linebacker play, and that's just continuing here with this second season player, and continue to see that from Sioux Falls every week is an expectation.
This defense is loaded with stars, no question. Zero again, the carry, and he's blown up immediately. Back-to-back tackles by the second-year backer, Derek Williams.
6'5", 260 pounds, but moving like a gazelle on that play, got in there and blew that one up right away.
76 tackles for him. That's a top 20 mark in the SFL coming into action this week. So another third down here for Queen City. They've been okay on them this season on offense, but again, Sioux Falls last in the league defending third downs this season. Caswell will throw, lofts it up. Matthew Jr. makes the catch all the way to the Sioux Falls 38s.
And a clean pocket for Caswell. That's what you need for him to perform very well. The offensive line gave him plenty of time. You see the pressure coming in late, but it gave Caswell time to let that route develop. And again, the big tight end there on the outside, the corner route works out perfectly.
The Sioux Falls secondary is so good, Steven. 34 interceptions by their rostered players, 37 total takeaways, by far the best in the league. But Matthew just high points it against some of those secondary members, gets the first down. 0 on the give, and a gain of about 5 for Jet Zero on the ground. Here is the Queen City offense for head coach Chris Komisak. AJ Caswell is the quarterback. Komisak is the fullback. Jet Zero the tailback. 3 wideouts, Deezer Powell, Doug Spelling, Christopher Ochoa. 2 tight ends, James Matthew Jr. and Hubba Kimbrell. And 3 standouts on the offensive line. Center, Odette Boudreau, and guards, Butch Menner and Robert Crone. Give Zero a gain of 5, run right back to him, and he runs right into the thick of the defense again. Another stop, this time by rookie defensive tackle Ray West.
And trying to get Jet Zero going on the ground. As they stated, they wanted to try to grind out the clock, but Sioux Falls seems to be up to the task early in the ballgame.
Our statisticians telling us that catch to James Matthew on that last third down went for 21 yards. On the fringes of field goal range, Caswell will throw, and they jump the route. That could have been a pick for Williams. He was going for Kimbrell, and it's another third down stop for Sioux Falls.
And Williams is locked in right now, Tim, making plays all over the place and doing a great job. Looks like they're going to... Oh, it's going to be a tough one. I think they're going to trot Judah Dorgan out for this one, Tim.
What do you think? This is a deep field goal for Dorgan. It would be about 49 yards. His season long is 50.
Yeah, open air stadium. I think maybe depends on the wind here a little bit, but I think they trust Judah Dorgan perfect on the season.
He has been excellent this season. 21 out of 21, made both of his kicks last week. Hold down from Calico Jack, and the kick from Dorgan is good, officially from 48. No problems there. Dueling field goals to start here in Sioux Falls.
And 0-0 wipes the score away, and the one thing that Sioux Falls has to be happy about is that they're going to get the ball at half. They managed to get Queen City to punt. Now they get a fresh opportunity here. If they can come out and get some more points on the board, Sioux Falls has to feel like they're ahead of the game script in this one.
So you see a little bit of both on that drive, Stephen, because Sioux Falls is able to make a stop on third down, but Queen City was also able to convert one of their third downs on that big pass from Caswell to James Matthew Jr. And it's been a really, really good season, a return to form, really, the last two for A.J. Caswell. Last year, Queen City was one of the best teams in the league. Caswell was great. Jet Zero was one of the best offensive players at any position in the SFL, and kind of dipped back down to even this year. Obviously, they're dead even record-wise at 4-4, but this team is still likely to break a big one off, especially with a guy like Deezer Powell at the controls as a wide receiver, working on a milestone for him today. But Sioux Falls, they're not necessarily, as always, as flashy on offense, but this is one of the most consistent teams in the league this year. Throwing it here is Tyree, and a short gain for Sioux Falls. They've got 5 wins this season, Stephen. They only had 3 wins total in each of the last 2 seasons, so obviously today they could match their total combined win total from the last 2 seasons combined.
Yeah, and that just says a lot about where this franchise is headed. I think that they recognized that they were on a slide a little bit, and they did the right things, they invested in the right ways, and they pulled themselves out of the hole. So I think all things are trending up for Sioux Falls.
One of those big investments was GP Wells, who got the toss on first down, gets the give on second down. Met there after a short gain by veteran safety King Jamal, and something that GP Wells does more than anybody else in the league, Stephen, catch passes.
Yeah, coming into this one, 99 targets, and he's second in the SFL, and that's from a running back. So Sioux Falls wants their offense to flow through this guy.
He already has 1 catch on this drive. On third down, they will run it, breaking through a tackle. Wells gets the first down. 21 stops 21. As Cody Griffin was in there to help as well, but a nice run for GP Wells to move the sticks.
And again, he's going to be the piece that's going to keep this offense going. They're gonna wait until Queen City overcommits to the run, and I think that's when Tyree is going to try to open it up and take some shots down the field. But so far, GP Wells carrying the load here for the offense.
6 carries already for him and 1 catch. He gets a lot of work into Sioux Falls backfield. 26 total touches on average, nearly 135 total yards, but a lot of that damage coming through the air. From the 42, Tyree under center, throws into traffic, swatted twice, turnstiled himself. BJ Lovelace, one of the all-time league leaders in pass deflections, has one there.
Yeah, you got to be careful. BJ Lovelace, nine pass deflections on the year, good for 14th in the SFL. He knows how to play the pass, and something he just watching the quarterback the entire time, has his eyes in the backfield and just steps in front of the receiver at the right moment.
Kind of become a joke that he doesn't like this joke, but he is always one of the league leaders in pass deflections because he's never one of the league leaders in interceptions. But now, along with those 10 pass deflections that he now has, he does have 2 picks, which is one of the most that he's ever had in his career. This is his 8th season in the league. 5-time SFL All-Star. 2nd and 10, Tyree this way, and stopped in the backfield is Wells on that catch. Cody Griffin has his 3rd tackle of the first quarter.
Yeah, great. Another great tackle by Griffin there, by Tim. It's a great job when you can see the cornerback come up and make a play near the backfield, or in the backfield like that.
That's something we've seen a lot out of Sioux Falls this year, not so much out of Queen City. 2nd TFL this season for the second-year corner, Cody Griffin. 3rd down and 11, longest today for Sioux Falls. Tyree a dot, and it's hauled in by A.J. Warren, who makes his 2nd catch of the first quarter.
Yeah, and A.J. Warren really hasn't been involved much in the offense. Only about 21 receptions coming into the game. And coming up big here early in this one is Tyree is looking his way early and often.
Oh, a throwback game for Sioux Falls against their longtime rivals, Queen City. A.J. Warren now in his 8th season in the league, a guy who averaged 52 catches and 687 receiving yards. So nothing groundbreaking, but certainly consistent over his first 7 years. South of 200 receiving yards this season. Big first quarter for him here. Tyree on a literal comeback route. That's caught again by Warren. That'll help his catch totals, but not his yardage totals. Hit for a loss of 1. And we are done with 1 in South Dakota. Dueling field goals, 1 for Black. And one for Dorgan, and after one, we're tied at 3. This is the Simulation Football League presented by APM Music, live on YouTube. Happy to have you with us here from the shadows of Mount Rushmore. Tim Hackett, Stephen Hacker, and Rochelle Colston here with you live for matchup number 13 all-time between Sioux Falls and Queen City. Here's Wells with the sidestep. He gets a couple after that first play went for a loss. Here is the Queen City defense. The line, Andre Krim, who makes that stop. DJ Majesty and David Tilley. Linebackers, BJ Lovelace, Jared Crow, and Nathaniel Diggs. And the secondary, corners, Cody Griffin and Ted Haynes. Safeties, Maurice Lloyd, Jorge Torres, and King Jamal. Another third down and long for the Sparrows on this drive. They've already converted one. Tyree on play action, sets, throws over the middle, wide open, first down, and a spin move after the catch. They get to the 14 on 3rd and 8. Another deep conversion for the Sparrows. K. Marion brings in that one.
And there's the big play out of K. Marion, freaking across the middle of the field. Yep, man coverage, and just whoop, nice move on the safety. King Jamal with the miss there, and K. Marion will take the yak all day.
And you said it earlier, she is one of the biggest big play gals in the SFL. 3rd best receiving average in the league, just under 20 yards per catch. That's why we were surprised that her first one only went for 5. That one went for 24. And Sioux Falls into the red zone for the first time today. 3 to the top and 1 to the bottom for Tyree. Only 3 on the line for Queen City. Another play action. Tyree evades the pressure coming from Tilley and somehow is able to link up with Wells for a short gain.
And that was a veteran move by Tyree. I think that was underappreciated by you there, Tim, as Tyree with a huge spin away from David Tilley. 6th in sacks, David Tilley is, and Tyree just evaded him like it was nothing and made a nice little throw there to the left side.
Always has been one of the best running quarterbacks in the SFL. We've not had many, but Tyree is one of the best. Here's Wells trying to go for one of the best running back moves, and he delivers it. GP Wells with a highlight reel run. First touchdown of the day belongs to the Sparrows.
And that was superb blocking up front, Tim. I mean, just there was nobody there to stop GP Wells until he was already at the goal line, just spun in just to try to evade that hit from King Jamal, but momentum took him in all the way. There was nobody around him. Great blocking up front by the Sparrows.
It's been a middle-of-the-pack season in a lot of ways for GP Wells in his rookie year. He's 20th in carries and just 16th in yards, but something that he has done extremely well this season, Stephen, is score. He's now got 10 rushing touchdowns, a top 10 mark in the league for the rookie, the number 3 overall pick. He's into the end zone once again. Snap down, and the kick from Zashtel Black is good, and Sioux Falls is into the end zone for the first time.
Really, all 4 of the 4 horsemen from the SFLM have came into the pros and really made their impact, Tim. I mean, they've really just fit right into the offenses that the teams that they went to, and you love to see that. You love to see when a rookie has paid their dues and put the time in, and they have such high expectations for them to come in and deliver like that. You love to see it.
And you don't always see that immediately, right? I mean, almost always it feels it takes a long time for folks to get situated into this league. That's kind of how it works, right? You don't expect rookies to come in and have an immediate, amazing impact all the time, but for Wells and for a lot of those other young tailbacks, they have.
Yeah, but it's just they again, Tim, they paid their dues. They a lot of them spent 2 or more seasons in the minors building up their player to get to be pro ready, Tim, and that's just it's a new thing. It's something that the SFLM provides the SFL, and again, it's just showing up here that that's why the SFLM matters. That these players have a chance to marinate, and then when game day comes around, they get to cook.
Jet Zero cooked a whole lot last year, Stephen. Again, one of the best running backs in the SFL. Kind of a slow season for him, at least relative to last year, where he by far had the best year of his career. Gets a gain of about 5 that time. 14th in carries, 18th in yards, and averages just 4 yards per carry. Is one of the lowest in the league, and 6 touchdowns. That is also a top 10 mark, just like Wells with his 10. 2nd and 5, Caswell to throw, one-on-one coverage, and out of the hands of Deezer Powell, and then he goes to the ground to try to grab it off the deflection. One-on-one coverage with John Barnhart.
Yeah, and that's a little bit of AJ Caswell having confidence there, and that's a tough matchup there even for a great receiver like Deezer Powell. John Barnhart, one of the better cornerbacks in the league, loves to run in that cover 3 coverage, and almost took one away, but almost a good throw by Caswell, so can't fault him for taking the shot.
Remember, Sioux Falls has 37 takeaways, best in the league. Here goes Zero, no takeaways that time. First down run for Jet Zero. Needed 5, he got 6. Tackled at the end of it by Jay Ringgold. Queen City moves the sticks.
Both of these teams really just trying to be patient, not taking too many shots deep. They're really just trying to feel each other out, and I think that patience is going to pay off for both of these offenses.
And Sioux Falls has struggled mightily against third downs on defense. Queen City's been able to convert a couple times. Here goes Zero, nothing doing for Zero that time. Gain of just 2. Here is that vaunted Sioux Falls defense. So much experience, especially in the secondary. We'll start up front where there's a lot more youth. James Kelly is the most senior member on the defensive end. There's also Biff Markham, Corey Dobbins, and Ray West. The linebackers, Nick Fargo, Jason Strongbow, and Derek Williams. 2nd and 8, empty set for Caswell. Fires over the middle, and that's caught right towards the midfield line by Christopher Ochoa. His first catch of the day.
Yeah, and Ochoa is a really good target for the Corsairs. Averages about a first down every time he catches the ball, and you can see, right there, he has that inside, that slot route, and just beat his assignment and freed himself up for Caswell to make a nice throw.
Rochelle Colston also monitoring the milestones for us. We'll go to her for an update right after this play as we get set. Another nice gain for Ochoa, like you said. Give him 13 on that one. Caswell will toss it. It's behind Zero, and he gets stuck after a gain of 3. So Rochelle monitoring the sidelines and the milestones for us. What do you have, Ray?
Well, Jet Zero just passed Florida's JW duel to be the 26th in the league in rushing yards. Congratulations, Jet.
We figure he might rise up those leaderboards a little bit more today. That Doyle won't be happy to hear that. Thanks, Ray. 2nd down and 7. Trips to the top for Caswell, and Zero offset. They'll give it to Jet Zero, and there's a couple more for Zero. Blows through a man and gets 3. Rest of the Sioux Falls defense. Corners Nathan Barnett, Terrell Davis, John Barnhart, and Ernest McCrae Sr. And the safeties who have been playing together now for 8 seasons. Jay Ringgold and A.J. Levy, one of the best in league history. Where does Queen City go here on 3rd and short?
If I'm looking, I'm thinking they might try to draw up an out route here, maybe from that slot receiver at the top of the screen.
Haven't heard anything from Doug Spelling yet, the team's leader in receiving yards. Caswell will throw, top of the screen, it's an out route, perfect. Point for you, Stephen Hacker, and Christopher Ochoa has his 2nd first down catch of the game, just 19 grabs for him this season. He's got 2 catches over the last 5 plays.
Yeah, and again, a really solid receiver for their offense. Maybe doesn't get the most targets in the game, but when he has the talent like that to run a crisp route, be an open target for your quarterback, that's invaluable.
Caught his 2nd touchdown of the season a week ago. Here's Doyle rumbling up the middle for a gain of about 7.
You got your names mixed up because we just broke the record with Jet Zero there with a nice carry on first down, got the 7. It's all right, Tim. It happens.
It's a Sunday night. It's a football of a Sunday night variety. I don't even know what team I'm watching, apparently.
You're a pro, man. You make the rest of us look bad.
Not that you could tell from how this game has gone so far. But yeah, it's a gain of 7 for Zero, who is no longer running for gains of 0 after the way his career started. He has turned into one of the best tailbacks in the league. Caswell has all day, fires into traffic, and picked off somehow. What an interception. Matthew looked like he had it, but instead it's ripped away by John Barnhart.
And a super athletic corner. I mean, that's one of the ways you try to combat a big tight end like James Matthew Jr. And Barnhart, again, with enough presence, enough awareness to keep his eyes on the quarterback, saw the ball get released, adjusted, and came over and took that one away from Matthew Jr., who was not expecting him to be there.
5th interception this season for Barnhart. All 5 of the most senior members of the Sioux Falls secondary have at least 4 picks this year. That's crazy. First takeaway for the Sparrows. We figured they'd have some as Tyree tosses it out. I was thinking about A.J. Levy and his 8 interceptions, which is 2nd most on the team, and that's Wells on the catch. No gain for him there.
And going to continue to try to get Wells involved through the passing, not really changing it up a whole lot. It's worked for him all season long. So here with your backs against the wall, going to go with what worked.
That was the 100th catch this season for GP Wells. This is their 10th game. On the ground they go, and just a gain of about maybe 2 that time for Wells, tackled by DJ Majesty. What a great offseason pickup he was. He was such a great linebacker for the majority of his career. Comes over to Queen City to play defensive end, and accordingly, Stephen, his numbers are down from what he did as a linebacker in the early stages of his career, but anytime you can get a 10th-year veteran on your defensive line, it's always a nice pickup. 3rd down and 9 here for Sioux Falls. They'll spread it out. Queen City puts 5 in the box. They will rush 4. Tyree bombs it left sideline, wide open, and off to the races goes Al Dillapre Sr. down the sideline. He is stopped at the Queen City 11-yard line from the Sioux Falls 19 to the Queen City 11. Biggest play of the day for either side.
If the game plan was to get Wells and Tyree cooking, Sioux Falls is executing perfectly. Nobody within 10 yards of Al Dillapre Sr. there on the left sideline, and he just takes off to the races. Unfortunately, gets caught from behind. Need to work on that speed maybe a little bit, but no issue there. Is Sioux Falls back in scoring position, flipping the field and inside the SFL red zone, Tim.
Well, Dillapre had 5 catches for 54 yards last week for Sioux Falls. Today, 1 catch for 70 yards. Couldn't do the math quickly enough. Thanks to Jason McGee for the assist on that one. Biggest play for either side, and just like that, Sioux Falls right back into the red zone. Great start for Tyree. You see it there from the 11. Here's Wells looking for touchdown number 2 and nearly had it spun away from Cody Griffin, who had his number earlier, and he's eventually stuck by 4th-year safety Maurice Lloyd, but a nice gain of 9 on the ground for Wells.
And just continuing to use what has worked for them, and just going to grind this one away. They don't have to get it in. They have a chance to get another first down as the goal line mark, or the first down mark is at the 1, Tim. So they can get a little creative here, but plenty of opportunity for Sioux Falls to punch this one in.
Don't toss it to Wells very much in short yardage situations. He only has 2 receiving touchdowns this year and against his 10 rushing touchdowns. Tyree will throw, spotted. Dangerous throw from Tyree right into traffic, and the rookie linebacker Nathaniel Diggs could well have had his first career pick.
Yeah, and that would have been a big one there as, Queen City, their feet in their own end zone. They need a stop, and that would have been a huge play for the defense. And Tyree, you don't expect him to make those kinds of throws with 2 defenders in coverage. It was a risky throw from the veteran quarterback.
Not something we've seen from him a lot this year at all. He's only thrown 12 picks, 5th fewest in the league through 9 games. 3rd down and 1 now. Steven said they could get a first down before the end zone. Tyree will throw wide open. Easy does it. 2nd touchdown today for Sioux Falls.
And Noe Terrazas ran a great route there. He just kind of got behind the defender, and everybody was moving towards the outside, and he just saw the weakness, saw the soft spot in the zone, stepped into it, and Tyree delivered a dime right on the money.
You figured they would have noticed that Noe Terrazas was there with those bright arm sleeves, but they did not. And the 5th-year wideout has his 3rd touchdown of the season, 2nd straight week with the receiving touchdown for the former tight end for Sioux Falls. Another kick from Black, and it's good. Back-to-back touchdowns as the Sparrows take advantage of that takeaway, Stephen. And this is a note that Cameron Irvine posted earlier this week. What Sioux Falls has done, we mentioned already the year-to-year turnaround. 3 wins last year. They could pick up their 6th win if they emerge victorious tonight. But the biggest thing that stands out to me from last year to this year, they now have 38 takeaways. That's most in the league. And their turnover differential is plus 23. That is also best in the league. This comes a season after they were minus 17 in season 17. Solid return there for Ochoa. Minus 17 turnover differential. That was 2nd worst in the league. So you do some quick math. That is a turnaround of plus 40 from year to year. Obviously, this year's not done, but plus 23 this year after minus 17 last year. It's unbelievable, the turnaround in that department.
Yeah, and definitely a lot of that is due to, I think, Tyree playing so clean. Sioux Falls, typically is able to generate the turnovers. I think he had a little bit of a down season last year, and maybe the numbers were down for Sioux Falls as well in the turnover department. But this season it's something that I think is well within their wheelhouse. They have such a dangerous secondary that they're able to take it away at any given moment.
Tyree has really returned to form, no question. I mean, last year he had the worst year of his career, I think it's fair to say. 32 interceptions just by Tyree. That's crazy. And this year, like we said, only 12 in a league where quarterbacks throw a lot of picks. 12 through 9 games is not much at all. Caswell also had only thrown 12 interceptions before that one against Barnhart. Here's 0 on 2nd and 1 and stuffed in the backfield. Everything going Sioux Falls way over the last couple of drives, Stephen Hacker. Hit in the backfield for a loss by Ray West.
Yeah, Queen City's got to find a way here to convert these third downs, keep these drives alive, because Sioux Falls is really picking up the momentum here at home. So Queen City's got to find a way to quiet this crowd down and convert on this third down here.
Got the opportunity, and they will stack the line, but they will throw. Zero's open, but Caswell will go over the middle, and looking for Hubba Kimbrell, the tight end. He was blown up by rookie linebacker Jason Strongbow. Again, one-on-one coverage, and again, Sioux Falls wins it.
Yeah, and, Kimbrell thought that he had the reception secured there, went out, reached out with the one hand, had the rookie linebacker in coverage, and that's a tough throw and catch there on a 3rd and 1. I wonder why they weren't looking for Zero there. Maybe he was a little tired. I'm not sure, but it seemed like an awkward throw and catch there on a 3rd and short when Zero, to me, would have been the way to go.
Here comes Greg Morrison to punt it away for a second time. Remember, Levy is great at these and has already had one good return, but not this time. Stopped up nicely by Queen City. Have you checked out video content produced by our community lately? Catch the Sim Pod every week. SFL Crunch Time and Road to Glory every Wednesday night. SFL Nights with AJ Stryker premieres on Thursday nights. Say It With Your Chest airs Fridays, and Netma can be seen all week long at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Every week, the live show schedule can be accessed through our Discord server at the top of the channel listing. Just look for the Events tab. These two teams looking to add a couple of things to the next episode of Crunch Time. Here goes Wells, right to the top of the list he goes. Spin move for GP Wells, and he's off to the races. No one will stop him. Touchdown, GP Wells, 66 yards.
Where did that spin move come from? Just left the defender there, second guessing himself. What a move from GP Wells to free himself up and get up the sideline, and really, putting the pressure on Queen City here, showing them that they're gonna have their work cut out for him all night. If they can't slow him down, he just untouched there, Tim. They made everybody miss on his way to the
second rushing touchdown today for Wells. Give the rookie 11 now on the season. He's averaging better than 10 yards per carry in this game in the first half. Welcome to the SFL against the all-time winningest team in league history, winningest franchise, I guess, Queen City. They've won 4 league championships in their franchise history. And as they say in the chat, allow us to reintroduce ourselves. It's the GP Wells Show. He's got 2 scores, and Sioux Falls adds on another one. This game was tied at 3 apiece. 3 straight scores for the Sparrows.
And just, unrelenting offensive attack from Sioux Falls has just opened up this ball game, and Queen City has to be on the sideline wondering what is going on right now. But it's been mainly GP Wells. That's what's happening to you. A big reception from Al Dillapre Sr., but a lot of this offensive flow is going through GP Wells right now, and Queen City has got to find a way to slow him down.
Queen City just 50% on third down conversion rate in this game, which is a lot lower than normal and a lot lower than Sioux Falls normally gives up. That's a big reason for their success. 2-minute warning here in the first half. 21 straight points for the Sparrows. This is the SFL presented by APM Music, live on YouTube. Well, speaking of crunch time, it is crunch time in the first half for Queen City. Alongside Stephen Hacker and Rochelle Colston, Tim Hackett here with you live from South Dakota. Caswell floats it up and caught behind him. Not the greatest throw ever, but Matthew Jr. makes a nice catch, gain of 8.
Yeah, Matthew Jr. just, one of the toughest guys, in the league to cover. There's a lot of really tall, really athletic tight ends in the league, and Matthew Jr. has to be at the top of, near the top of that list.
I'm with you. He's one of my favorite tight ends in the league for sure. Quiet year for him. 24 catches, 261 yards, and 2 touchdowns, but big day so far. 3 for 41. On the ground they go. Big hole for Zero, and a nice run. First down for Jet Zero to the 42.
And I think Queen City needs to continue that, but most importantly here before the half, they need to get some points on the board. Sioux Falls is going to get the ball to start the second half, Tim, and there's just too big of a lead. Queen City needs to start putting some pressure back onto Sioux Falls.
On the 42, Caswell to the top of the screen, looking for a home run for Deezer Powell. And for the second time in this half, Stephen, John Barnhart read that one perfectly, swatted it away.
Yeah, just perfect coverage. Right where he wants to be, sees the route, recognizes that it's a corner, beats Deezer Powell to the position, and then able to get his eyes back on the quarterback as he jumps up to try to make the play. And, I think Queen City needs to try to find something different there. Sioux Falls is showing that they're prepared for those corner routes.
All 5 of these guys that have played at least 3 full seasons in the SFL, talking Davis, Barnhart, Barnett, Ringgold, and Levy, they all have at least 4 interceptions, and 4 of them now have at least 5 after Barnhart's grab earlier today. Queen City does have all 3 timeouts, but only 58 seconds to work with. Here's 0, and again, Sioux Falls is ready for him. There is that timeout from Queen City. They need to reset after that one.
Yeah, I thought they had a decent enough formation. They could have stayed and went with a no huddle and just hurried up, but maybe didn't like what they saw there. Maybe they have something else up their sleeve.
Nick Fargo, the former outside linebacker for Sioux Falls, has been in this league now for 10 seasons. This is his 9th season with Sioux Falls. Moved inside, changed his number, makes a big stop there. On 3rd down, Caswell into traffic, hits a couple of bodies, and there he is. Nick Fargo, the 10th year linebacker, another pass deflection, 6-time All-Star, one of the best in league history. Another 3rd down stop for Sioux Falls.
Yeah, and just when, Queen City had to be feeling like they were maybe onto something, Sioux Falls steps up, makes a couple of big plays, and gets Queen City's special teams unit back out on the field.
So now maybe Sioux Falls has some time, Stephen, to do something on offense before the half. They've done whatever they've wanted on offense over the last couple of minutes, it feels like, and Morrison will come out to punt again. Here's Levy trying to get a return, and not much there. A nice stop.
I don't expect Sioux Falls to go super aggressive here. I mean, with the healthy lead, with 3 timeouts, only 43 seconds before the half, I mean, I wouldn't expect them to try to throw the ball necessarily deep down the field. But I've been surprised before, so I think if anything big's going to happen, GP Wells has to break a couple of tackles on his way. But I think we're probably just going to see a conservative Sparrows approach here.
We've seen one 66-yard run and one 70-yard pass in this game. Tyree pumps and swatted by Jared Crow. There was a receiver open over the middle of the field, but Crow reached out the wing and swatted it down.
Yeah, maybe feeling like that's a conservative play, but throwing the ball over the middle with not many offensive linemen or other weapons in front of the defender. I mean, that's just, you're asking for a pick 6 if you continue to be aggressive like that. I think really need to be looking at GP Wells, as it looks like they're going here, Tim.
We mentioned both of these teams know how to spread the ball around, but so far only one of these teams has been able to do that in this game. On the ground they will go, and no gain. That will start to run the clock. Great tackle by Crow on GP Wells. So that's another point for you, Hacker.
Yeah, and it's just, you want to do mathematically what makes the most sense for your team here. You want to protect your offense, protect your quarterback as best you can. So, best thing for the Sioux Falls Sparrows is to get the clock.
You don't have to snap it again before the end of the half. You can see it there. It's a +3 differential. They will snap it. Play action, and they'll throw on 3rd down. Tyree's pass is caught, but short of the sticks. And now they will just let the clock run out to halftime. Well, that was unique. A.J. Warren has his 3rd catch of the first half, just 19 catches all season, and that caps a brilliant first half of play. For Sioux Falls, they score 21 straight, aided by 2 rushing touchdowns from rookie GP Wells, and Sioux Falls has the lead at the break. I mean, brilliant first half offensively for Sioux Falls, Stephen. Everything really going right.
Yes, and it's a testament to the game plan that Sioux Falls has been developing for the season to get themselves into these kinds of positions. And if the well, keep going to the well, so to speak. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. As this connection between Tyree and Wells really makes this offense go. So whenever he's able to get going on the ground like he has here today, it just adds another layer to this team, because defensively they're always sound. They're always going to give you a challenge defensively. But whenever they have an aerial attack as well as a ground attack, they're one of the toughest teams in the league.
For for the Sioux Falls offense. It was all wells and good in that first half. Rochelle Colston, a lot of things that you reported before the game came true, especially on the Sioux Falls side of things. Nothing doing offensively for Chris Comisac for Queen City.
Yeah, Tim. Quarterback Julian Tyrese had in the game. Of all games, he's 14 for 17, 151 yards, and GP Wells is just cooking on all cylinders. On the other side, QCC is just not spreading the ball around enough. We haven't seen anything from Chris Comisac. We haven't seen anything from Papa Kimball, Cesar Powell, or Doug Spelling. Mostly at Christopher Show and Jet Zero. He's only averaging 3 yards per carry right now.
Sioux Falls defense has really stood up so far, Rochelle. They've really limited what Queen City can do on offense. Like you said, only 3 players have catches. Ochoa, Matthew, and 0. Nothing for Comisac, nothing for Powell, nothing for Spelling, and 21 straight points for Sioux Falls after that kick from Judah Dorgan tied things up at 3 apiece. The Sparrow defense has locked it down on 3rd down so far, and the home team has the lead. Happy to have you with us. Final game on this Sunday slate, live from Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Tim Hackett, Stephen Hacker, Rochelle Colston with Josh Neal and Jason McGee in the stat truck. Cameron Irvine working hard behind the scenes. Sioux Falls with this 24-3 lead, Stephen, will get the ball to start the second half. And again, just Jet Zero outshined in that first half by rookie GP Wells.
Yeah, and that's what Sioux Falls needed. You know, their game plan in the first half was better than Queen City's, and so that's exactly what you need to continue here in the second half. Queen City really needs to figure out a way to slow things down for defensively. They need to find a way to stop GP Wells and give their offense a chance to get back in this game. There's still time in this second half.
Sidearm sling there from Julian Tyree, and a nice catch for Noe Terrazas, his second catch of the day. We mentioned how balanced this Sioux Falls offense has been coming into today. Get this, 42 catches for Terrazas, 42 catches for Marion, 48 for Dillapre. Obviously that pales in comparison to the 96 that Wells had as the lead tailback, but Julian Tyree spreading things around. I mean, it helps when you're 3rd in the league in completions and in attempts and in completion percentage. You know that different players are going to get the ball, but to spread it around, they might have 4 players with 50 receptions or more after this game if all goes their way, and Terrazas and Marion both go off. But by the end of this season, they will have 4 players with 50 or more catches. That does not happen very often.
Yeah, and just to kind of break that down into percentages for all the math lovers out there, coming into this game, the target share for Sioux Falls, Wells getting 27% of the targets, Noe Terrazas getting 19, K. Marion 16, Al Dillapre Sr. with 16, Al Warren and Caesar Ackerman coming in at 5%, and the fullback Cornelius getting 2%. Wow, GP Wells will not go down, Tim.
I thought he was dead to rights 3 different times on that run, Stephen. He had the first down locked up, and then I looked down. I thought he was done for sure, and then somehow he runs into DJ Majesty. Let's get another look at the end of this.
Just finding another gear in this ball game. The second effort, the no quit that he had in his legs there, as you see, breaking the 2 tackles and then still looking for more contact. And it's amazing effort from the rookie running back.
And finally stopped by the other number 21, King Jamal, who is Queen City's leader in tackles. The strong safety with 63. He's also their leader in interceptions with 8. That was about the longest 13-yard run that or maybe it was an 8-yard run regardless for GP Wells. One of his best games of his rookie season. Down goes Tyree. Queen City finally able to get pressure against one of the teams that allows some of the highest sack numbers in the league. And big surprise, David Tilley at the scene of the crime.
Yeah, and a big sack there for David Tilley in his career. And Tim, that was number 9. I'm sorry, that was his big sack on the season. That's going to move him up in the record book, Tim.
It's the first sack allowed by Sioux Falls today. They gave up 21 through 9 games. That was second most. Queen City only had 12.5 as a team. On 2nd and long, they will try to run it, and they go right back at David Tilley, who shows no signs of wear. No gain on that play.
And Tilley really is the meat of this defense for the Corsairs. I mean, he's what gets all the pressure. He eats up all the tackles there in the middle. I mean, he's just a dominant force inside for the Corsairs.
He's been a really, really good player for pretty much his whole career. Made the All-Star game in season 16 after a career year. Third and forever. Tyree will throw. Catch is made, and then spinning near the line to gain is Warren. He is having one of the biggest games of his season, stopped by Griffin, and Sioux Falls will be just 2 yards short.
Yeah, and we're gonna see Sioux Falls have to punt here, and I think Queen City has to be feeling like that's a win. Sioux Falls came out with a little bit of momentum, but Queen City able to stand strong and force the special teams unit for Sioux Falls out on the field with their first drive. Oh, it's blocked!
The punt is blocked, and it's loose and picked up originally by Queen City, and now, yes, the Corsairs will get it inside Sioux Falls territory. A blocked punt, that might be what the Corsairs need to right the ship.
And they have to be feeling great, even better now, Tim. With the blocked punt, they have to be feeling energetic and the best starting field position of the game for the Corsairs now. They need to apply some pressure to the Sparrows.
And ultimately recovered by backup cornerback Thomas Barlow as the punt from Sammy Prefontaine was blocked. Queen City starts from the Sioux Falls 46, and here's the give, and 0 gets 0. Nice stop. Rallying to the charge by Sioux Falls defensively.
And the front seven for Sioux Falls has done a really good job controlling the gaps and being, anytime 0 is trying to make a run up the middle, there's somebody there to meet him in the gap. And it's been a great effort up front for the Sparrows.
Averaging fewer than 3 yards per carry, according to our crack stats team. Here goes 0, and really more of the same for Jet 0. A gain of about 2.5, which is right about in line with his average today. That's stopped by Derek Williams. Again, one of this team's leaders in tackles, second on the team behind only Levy. Top 20 in the league in tackles this season for a sophomore. He only had 4 last week against London, though one of those 4 tackles was a sack. And so far today, we've got him at 7 total tackles. Caswell fires over the middle in stride. It's Matthew Jr. to the 24-yard line, a gain of 20 on 3rd down and long.
Yeah, and he's a dangerous target. Sioux Falls trying to go man coverage there. And Matthew Jr. a lot of the times is going to win that matchup. And going against a linebacker, even a great one like Nick Fargo, James Matthew Jr. going to win that battle most of the time.
4th catch today for Matthew. Remember, Ochoa had those 2 catches, both going for first downs. 0 has 3 catches. 0 for everybody else. 0 catches, that is. Spelling, Powell, Kimbrell, and Comisac. On the ground they go. Here's 0, wrapped up nicely, and a nice arm tackle there. Usually that's not said as a good thing, Steven, but that was all arms and a great tackle.
Yeah, just 0 almost able to shake off the hits, but held on for dear life, got the hand there maybe in the waistband, and just enough to drag down 0.
It's kind of a similar day so far for 0 as to what he had last time out against Vegas. 22 carries for 56 yards, though he salvaged his day with a touchdown. Yet to have one here. Here he goes, trying to stretch it out, and he stopped about a half yard short of the line to gain. And
going to keep pushing 0 with these carries, and again, it's what Queen City is going to do. They're not going to want to take a whole lot of deep shots and put themselves at more risk. I think they're in a prime opportunity to score. They need to protect the ball now here on a 3rd and 1. Going to look for Caswell to complete something short.
They've run it more than they've passed it so far in this game. Caswell into traffic, reaching up was Matthew. Caswell wants a flag as Matthew was hit as he tried to make that catch. 2 different Sparrows were there defensively, and no one could haul it in.
Yeah, I thought had some receivers underneath, but, again, eyes typically going over to Matthew Jr., and a nice throw, but well defended. The hit got there right in time, so good coverage from Sioux Falls, and Queen City has to be feeling a little bit that they left some meat on the bone on this drive here, Tim.
I mean, we saw Caswell wanting the penalty flag, Steven, and look, I know you're a pass catcher, but you said, I mean, that was a perfectly timed hit, but more on that later because Queen City's going to bring the offense out. What do you think?
I love it. I love the aggressiveness.
You're down by 21 halfway through the 3rd. It's now or never, and they get the Sparrows to jump. 0 gets the first down anyway. Down to the 7 he goes. Oh, no, it's a give to Ann Bonnie. They run it with the backup tailback on 4th and 1, Steven. And, I mean, wow, everything coming up aces for QCC.
Yeah, and that should have been a dead giveaway. That should have been a dead giveaway for the Sparrows to recognize if Bonnie's on the field, 0 is tired, they're not going to try to run this on you. They're going to try to get you to jump off sides, and you know what? They got him. Caswell got him. Great cadence. and got the free play. And then Bonnie is the recipient of some free yards due to it, and a nice backup run there for the Corsairs now with a fresh set at the 7-yard line here, Tim.
Well, an 11th-year veteran exploiting a very young defensive line. Now Zero is back on the field and doesn't have a whole lot there. I love the Queen City roster, Steven. They've got a lot of folks, especially on the offensive side, that are named after famous pirates, including who you just heard from, Ann Bonnie. There's also Calico Jack and a couple of others, so I love that nod to the history and the naming rights of the franchise. But either way, they're trying to pirate a touchdown here because they have been completely stonewalled so far in this game. Haven't scored since the early stages of the first quarter. 5 minutes left now in the third. Empty set for Caswell, fires back in the end zone, swatted away. Doug Spelling was the target, and Terrell Davis, the veteran corner, makes the play.
I like the shot there. That's the first time Caswell has targeted that side of the field, and good chance, gets a good play to catch somebody sleeping. And the corner route just not there, but Doug Spelling got his name called. I expect to see his name called more as this game goes on, Tim.
5 touchdowns for Spelling, best on the team, his first target today. 3rd and goal now from the 6. Again, they'll spread it out. Caswell sets, throws, and it's caught! Deezer Powell has his first catch, his 5th touchdown of the season, and the Corsairs have finally broached the end zone.
And that's what a veteran receiver can do for you. They're in traffic. That's a tough catch to make with all those defenders around. And, especially in the end zone, everybody is congested in there. Deezer Powell just goes up and takes that one away and scores the points for the Corsairs.
One of the best games of his season a week ago, 93 yards and a touchdown aided by a 54-yard catch, and they finally go his way. Their top 2 wideouts, Steven, they get their first real looks, and Powell had a couple of targets on those deep balls earlier in the half, but they were well defended by John Barnhart. They finally are able to exploit the defense just barely, and Spelling gets his first look. Powell then gets his first catch. Finally, you see it there, his first catch for only 6 yards. He's on the precipice of a career milestone, has been for a couple of weeks, really, and finally, Queen City's able to make it happen for him.
Yeah, and he's been around so long, has really, traveled around, gotten his usage in the league, and everywhere he goes, he just seems to produce numbers, and that really comes with the territory, being that number 1 wide receiver in the offense, and a great wide receiver on and off the field, and again, getting close to those records. Really excited for him.
Yeah, and speaking of records, here goes AJ Levy, who's one of the best kick returners in league record, and he will get all the way to the 35-yard line. Another crazy return for AJ Levy, who had the 2nd best return average in the SFL and 2 return touchdowns through 9 games. And so much for the momentum swing. Sioux Falls says that stays with us.
Yeah, they're so They are so tough. I mean, when you have a defense that plays as tough as theirs does, and then when you have a special teams that is able to convert and flip the field and give you such great starting field position, it makes your offense not have to work nearly as hard. And their offense is in sync tonight, Tim. So that's really dangerous. It's a recipe for disaster for Queen City right now, and Sioux Falls, really looking to capitalize here.
Well, to think this game is over is, I mean, you'd be foolish if you were to think that. This all-time series is so close, and all the games in the all-time series feel like they're close. Risky throw there from Tyree is swatted away. Good coverage by William Kidd, another one of the Pirate folks here on the Corsairs team, and it looked like Queen City was going to be able to wrestle control back in this game after that great drive, their best of the game, but all it takes is that one big spark from the Sparrows, and now they might be able to pull away even further.
Yeah, Queen City really needs something big to happen from them. They need their defense or their special teams to show up in a big way for them here to kind of punch back against Sioux Falls.
Tyree will throw it short, and a quick out catch is made for A.J. Warren. Again, man, what a day it's been for Warren. His 6th catch. He did not have any catches last week, only 19 catches this season. A guy who averaged better than 50 catches per season over his first 7 is having one of the biggest games of his 8th season.
Yeah, and I think, it just has a classic feel, right? A.J. Warren making catches against the Queen City Corsairs just feels right, doesn't it?
It sure does. And Tyree and Caswell both have their moments as well. 3rd and 4. Will Tyree have one? No, he will instead have a seat. Sandwiched by a couple of Corsairs. Another big-time sack.
What a hit. I mean, just sandwiched, absolutely sandwiched Tyree was. And oh man, you love to see it. You love it when the defenders finally get their chance to hit the quarterback. That was a big play there for the Corsairs.
That was Brandon Davenport, who was the leader of that pack, and that will push Sioux Falls out of field goal range, Steven. This would be about a 51-yarder for the rookie Zashtel Black, and so again, instead they will punt it away, and oh man, this punt will go to the 20. But
where are you going?
Ochoa! Oh my goodness, that should have been a net of about 25. Instead, it will be a net of about 25 after that. It should have been a net of about 15 because Ochoa lost 10 yards on the return.
Oh man, and Ochoa has to be shaking his head after that one, trying to help his team out, but doing the adverse and giving your team worse starting field position. You love the effort, but not what your team needed.
Wow, that's unbelievable. Compasses not calibrated here in South Dakota. Caswell hit as he throws.
Oh no!
It somehow picked off the turf. What a grab that was! A lineman makes the tackle. Unbelievable.
And man, just unfortunate timing. We're absolutely right. You know, you felt like the special teams play kind of led you into that, right? It's just felt the sequence coming, and it's just very unfortunate now. And again, Sioux Falls with prime starting field position already inside the SFL red zone, Tim.
It's the 5th interception this season for Nathan Barnett. Tackle is made by two-time All-Star guard Butch Menner. Not what he normally does, make tackles on interceptions, but had to make a big one there. Could Sioux Falls get back into it after that weird play on the punt? Tyree will throw, dots it through traffic, and it's caught by Dillapre. They say he did stay in bounds on a nice gain of 6.
And a great adjustment there from the Corsairs secondary, as that defender hasn't been there all game long, but finally makes an adjustment, tries to get in front of that one. Thought they had it timed right, but Tyree makes an absolute dime of a throw on that one.
Zips it right through the window somehow. Second catch today for Al Dillapre Sr. after his first one went for 70. That one goes for about 7. Here on the ground they go. Up the middle. Touchdown, Sioux Falls. It is a hat trick for GP Wells. A 3-touchdown game, and Sioux Falls takes advantage of the takeaway. They're in the end zone again.
Man, Sioux Falls really in control of this ball game. And this is a big win for them. This could, I'm sorry, it's not over yet, but this would be a big win for them as they're trying to keep their positioning in the playoff picture, and a win here against the team in the middle of the pack. That's what your team needs late in the season. And Sioux Falls came in here taking care of business at home, Tim. I mean, they are in complete control of this ball game right now.
All week, Steven, I've been trying to figure out what GP stands for, and right now I've settled on gut punch because it could have been a field goal for Black. Instead, they punted away. Queen City looked like they might start with the ball at about the 20-yard line. That's normal. Instead, Ochoa goes 10 yards the wrong way. Sioux Falls gets the ball on the 11, and 3 plays later, Wells scores his 3rd touchdown of the game. Gut punch, 21-point lead.
And he may adopt that as his new nickname or name. I mean, that's a pretty good one. I mean, yeah, that's about what he's doing here tonight. And it's been definitely a gut check time for Queen City. They're going to have to come out here and make up a lot of ground as they showed that they had they were able to string together a couple of good things. But as soon as they did, it was like Sioux Falls flipped the switch back on and put the pressure right back onto Queen City. And the clock is now becoming an enemy of Queen City. Just 3 minutes remaining here in the third quarter, and a lot of ground to make up.
3 touchdowns for Wells, and that is the difference so far in this game. 21 points for Sioux Falls at home. Caswell will throw, trying to right the ship. Top of the screen, it's caught. First catch today by Doug Spelling, gain of 8. But Rochelle Colston, like Steven was saying earlier, it's a 21-point game right now. But the all-time series between these two teams, it tends to indicate that we're in for a close game.
Definitely, Tim. These teams have met a total of 12 times.
We'll let you keep it. We'll let you finish the thought after this play because there's a lot to this all-time series with those 12 meetings. Here goes 0. Maybe we'll let Steven chime in first. A short gain for 0. Stopped right at the sticks again by the second-year the linebacker Derek Williams, who's had a huge game, Hacker.
Yeah, all over the field, making plays in the rushing attack and through the air. Derek Williams definitely having a really good game here today.
You get the sense that this is a big play on offense for QCC. So what do? They give it to Zero, and Jet Zero has a big first down out across the 40-yard line. Jet Zero delivers when they need him most.
Yeah, and that was a big carry, and that's what you need from your main offensive player is we need a big first down here, and you hand it off to him, and he moves the chains for you and keeps this drive alive, keeps the hope alive for the Corsair.
They'll go back to the line. Queen City on defense averages 32 points allowed per game. They've given up 31 so far here today. 2 minutes left in the third. Caswell pump fakes, fires over the middle, first down. Third first down catch today for Christopher Ochoa, a gain of 10. Rochelle, let's go right back to you because in those all-time 12 meetings prior to this, it doesn't get any more even.
Yeah, 12 of these, they've met 12 times. 4 of these matchups were actually playoff appearances. The last meeting in the regular season was in season 15, where Sioux Falls beat UCC on the road 33-17. UCC has 3 wins, and Sioux Falls has 9 in 12 appearances.
Jet Zero has 9 yards on that game. Rochelle, we'll keep it with you because, 4 playoff meetings in this all-time series. I mean, it's just a lot of great pedigree between these two squads.
Oh, definitely. Like I said, QCC has beat Sioux Falls 3 times, and Sioux Falls has beat QCC 9 times in the 12 appearances.
And Sioux Falls has won 6 straight in this all-time series, and they're on their way towards 7 in a row. Here goes Zero trying to stop that. Again, running into Williams, but another first down run for Jet Zero, Stephen Hacker.
Yeah, and I'd really like to see Queen City try to keep the tempo up, but they're going to huddle up. But I really think that Queen City is having a drive similar to when they put up the 7 points not too long ago. So I think they need to try to keep Sioux Falls on their heels a little bit on this drive.
No doubt, this is one of their best drives of the game. Zero will keep it going. It's just a different looking drive than that their only touchdown scoring drive to this point in the game, Stephen, because Caswell was able to throw it on that drive. Matthew had a couple of big catches, obviously ended in the touchdown grab by Deezer Powell, and in this drive, it's been a whole lot of Jet Zero.
Yeah, and they need to find a way, I think, here between the 20s to get Jet Zero a break and get somebody like Deezer Powell or keep Christopher Ochoa, keep these other players in the mix so that Jet Zero can finish off a drive for you because you're going to need them in the red zone.
Yeah, they had to take him off the field. Great point by you. They will go to him again. He makes the catch for a first down. Another tackle for Williams. He's up close to double digits in that category, and Zero will get a break because we're at the end of the third quarter. Queen City still down by 3 touchdowns, but moving the ball. This is the Simulation Football League presented by APM Music, live on YouTube. Welcome back to Liberty Park, Sioux Falls, South Dakota, the site of the final game here in Week 11 of Season 18 of the Simulation Football League. Tim Hackett, Stephen Hacker, Rochelle Colston here with you live. Josh Neal and Jason McGee in the stat truck. Cameron Irvine behind the scenes. From the 24, short pass from Caswell to Zero, and Zero is ripped down in the backfield for a loss by veteran backer B.J. Lovelace.
Biff Markham on the outside there for Sioux Falls. Tim is making the play, the defensive end, but great burst from the defensive end to be there in the backfield on the swing pass to meet Zero and drag him down for a loss.
I'm just going to leave now. You're 100% right. That's Biff Markham, the second-year defensive end. Got my roster switched around. And, yeah, anyway, from the 25, now Caswell into the traffic and picked off for a third time. He was going for spelling, and instead that might spell the end for Queen City. Ripped away by Terrell Davis, third different Sparrow with an interception, his 7th this season, and the Sparrows hold strong.
Sioux Falls is really tough. You know, the closer you get to the red zone, they really play that bend don't break defense perfectly. When you start throwing into the end zone or near the end zone against them, they have a tendency to take it away from you. And holding true to their tendencies, Sioux Falls takes it away.
3 more interceptions for this Sparrow defense. They now have 37 as a unit. First down, Tyree, a dot over the middle, and they get a gain of 20 plus on that one. Nice link up from Tyree to Terrazas.
And Tyree, calm. They're inside their own. They're against their own end zone, and Tyree just steps back. The offensive line gave him plenty of time to digest what the defense was doing, and it's just an easy pitch and catch. Sioux Falls really not feeling any pressure here in this ball game at all. They've really been in control, feeling really good about themselves. As we're Tim, the playoff picture is taking shape, and Sioux Falls is making their case for a playoff contender.
Trying to get a home game in the playoffs as well in the first round, as Tyree was looking for J.J. McGee, who already has a catch in this game, but not this time. I mean, we've mentioned it already. Rochelle hit on it as well at the halftime break, Stephen, but Sioux Falls has been able to continue to spread the ball on offense. The only person that hasn't had a touch so far is Charlemagne Cornelius. Everybody else has had at least one look. Even Caesar Ackerman only had 8 catches this season. Terrazas 3 catches, Warren with 6, which is crazy. Dillapre with 2, and really the biggest surprise on that list is Marion, only 2 catches, but they haven't needed her because it's been a career game so far for GP Wells, unofficially 128 rushing yards and 3 touchdowns. 2nd and 10, here goes Wells again, and he is wrenched down. Nice tackle by Jared Crow.
Yeah, and I wonder how much of that game planning was to really try to focus on GP Wells. As the head coach said, they wanted to try to let Tyree and Wells cook in this game, and I think a shift in how they ran the ball came here in this game, and maybe Marion's deep attack suffered a little bit to that, but I think to get your rookie running back a big game like this, a breakout game, you always love to see that, and then to get somebody like AJ Warren who makes the reception there, Tim, to get him back involved when maybe he felt like he was in a little bit of a slump, to show him that, hey, I still got it. Comes out, he's got 7 targets now and 7 receptions, Tim. So the veteran shown that he still has it.
I love that call from you earlier because it really is just a throwback in this game that features 2 of the league's all-time greatest franchise. Tyree to Warren is something that we've seen a lot over the years. It's something that Queen City has seen a lot over the years as they nearly blocked their second punt of the game. Said it'll just be an easy return and a fair catch from Ochoa. It's been a great little throwback for Warren and Julian Tyree, who's having one of the best games of his season and a great return to form season for Tyree. Sioux Falls is going to win their 6th game of the season if all things hold. And again, it's going to be as many wins as they had over the previous 2 seasons combined. And it's just been weird for a relative newcomer to this league like I am to see a team like Sioux Falls, who has had so much success in this league's history, to have 2, let's call it honestly, bad seasons in a row. This is one of the better teams in the league again this year. 0 trying to make sure that we don't close the book too soon, and a nice run of 11 for Jet Zero.
That's what a great running back like Jet Zero can do for your team. He'll keep the defense honest, and you see him there. What the contact? He does love the contact out there, and he's a bruising back. He's tough to bring down. But Queen City's going to have to press the gas pedal a little bit here, as again down 21 points and just 8.5 minutes remaining here in this ball game. So really playing against their strengths right now, but Zero does have big play potential. It's just that they're really going to have to start getting the ball in the air and stretching the field vertically.
Showing it there. He gets 7 after the gain of 11. AJ Levy now has 11 tackles. Remember, he was the team's leader with 81 coming into today, top 10 in the league. And despite some chatter to the negative here, Steven, Queen City, if the playoffs started today, these would be 2 playoff teams, and even a loss here for Queen City by no means knocks them out of the playoff picture. As Caswell fires, that's caught. First catch today for Doug Spelling out to the 48-yard line. So even if Queen City were to lose this game, they'd be 4-5 with 3 weeks left in the regular season, Hacker. And as we know, 6-6 is going to be good enough for at least one team, if not more, to make the playoffs. With how muddled the bottom part of that playoff bracket is, this is not a nail in the coffin by any means for Queen City, even if they're not able to make a remarkable comeback here in the last 8 minutes. From the 48, Caswell wide open in a one-handed catch from James Matthew Jr. He's been one of their best players on offense, gain of 7.
Yeah, it's absolutely crazy in my opinion to think that just because Queen City lost here to Sioux Falls, that they're out of anything. They've shown that they can compete in probably the toughest division in the SFL, which is the North Division. And they're still right in the thick of things. Them being at 4-5, if they do lose this game, they'll be right there with the London Knights. And they're still in the hunt for the playoffs. And that's me saying that this is a big win for Sioux Falls is in due respect to Queen City, who is a very tough opponent anytime you face them as well. Both of these teams have an illustrious history. I mean, Queen City's played the most games in SFL history, has the most wins in SFL history. I mean, they are a tough team, you know. So a win here for Sioux Falls is just a testament to how well their game plan was executed here tonight. But you know, Fort Worth, my team has played Queen City and they beat us, so I can speak to how well they played. You know, they put a tough game plan together. Again, it just looks like in this one Sioux Falls made the proper adjustments and got the better of Queen City here in this one. And you know, again, that's all testament to the head coach. You know, nobody works as hard as Chris Komisak does. I know that from personal experience, and so I know he's going to take this game and do what he needs to do with it. And I know he'll put on a good performance next week.
You talked about the division being quite probably the best in the league. Speaking of, Baltimore wins again. They're still undefeated, so Queen City wouldn't have even made any ground on the Vultures even with the win today. Zero's cooking. High throw from Caswell out of the reach of Ochoa, stopped there by Fargo. And so we thought that this division was really good last year, Stephen, because obviously Baltimore was 11-1, undefeated until the last week. Queen City was one of the best teams in the league. It looked like this division was really good. DC kind of fell off down the stretch, sure, but they were still a solid team, ton of close losses. This year, everybody in the division is really good, and or at least decent. They're going to probably all be 500 or better, it seems, as Zero has nowhere to go there. Can the North Division put 4 teams into the playoffs in just a field of 12?
I mean, there have been some divisions that have been trying to do it. I know the South tried to do it for a couple of seasons, but now the North, I mean, they are really doing everything in their power to make that a thing. I think if any division is primed to do it, it's probably the North this season. And you know, it'll be interesting to see how everything shakes out. But, you know, again, these kinds of games here late in the season.
No way. Another interception by Sioux Falls. That's another tip, and Nathan Barnett is off to the races. He's going to outpace Doug Spelling to the house. 4 interceptions thrown by Caswell. I don't think any of them have been his fault. Barnett has his first touchdown of the season, and what a way for the Sparrows to send it home.
Yeah, and just great defense there on the outside, and stepped in front of that one. And then the tip drill, once the ball was in the air, the awareness from the defensive back to come over and make a play on that one. Phenomenal effort, ball hawking defense from the Sparrows. That's exactly what you expect from them.
This is an unbelievable game. I mean, Tyree's numbers are fantastic. He's 20 of 25, quarterback rating north of 115. Caswell has now thrown 4 picks. His quarterback rating is going to be south of 40. It's such a tough break to be a quarterback in a game like this because, I mean, really, Stephen, all of those, 3 of the 4 picks have been tipped. The one was the first interception by Barnhart, was ripped away by Matthew. I mean, take nothing away from Sioux Falls. You and I both know that this is one of the best secondaries in the SFL. I'd put them right up there because of the veteran leadership that they've got, starting with A.J. Levy and then just emanating out from him. All of these guys can take the ball away as they've shown it today. It's a fantastic secondary, so take nothing away from them, but it's just, it's a rough day as a quarterback when you're going to have 4 interceptions and you can honestly say, look, there's nothing that I could have done better or different on any of them. It's just a testament to how good this defense can be.
Exactly. And I think the veteran players, I think the coaches and the owners, that's the tough, that's where that responsibility falls, right, Tim? I mean, I think any team owner in the SFL will tell you how hard it is to have those kinds of conversations when players are unhappy with the performance on the field. You know, those are tough conversations, but you know, the players need to fall back on their leaders, you know, the coaching staff, and you know, they'll reassure you, they'll tell you what you need to know about what's going down. But I think everybody understands that sometimes, you know, it's just the game plan doesn't work. You know, that's just what it is. A lot of teams have been through it. It happens to everybody, and to think that this is a unique experience for you to lose a ball game, well, you know, that's just life. That's how it is. And, you know, some losses are tougher than others, but, you know, it just, you know, sometimes it's not in the cards for you. And I think that's what all coaching staffs and ownership groups, I think they all understand.
It's been such a tough day for Caswell, who had one of the best games of his career a week ago, as Queen City beat Vegas. I mean, 86% completion. He attempted 51 passes, 443 yards, 4 touchdowns, no picks, and about as polar opposite of a game as you can get for Caswell today. Nice pass from the veteran A.J. Caswell to Jacob James, one of the depth wideouts, as the Corsairs continue to bring some guys from below deck. Caswell is taken down. Good sack for Sioux Falls. That'll stop this drive temporarily. Right back to the line they go. 4:20 to go. Caswell lofts it up. Zero will make the catch, and he's pushed right back inbounds by K. Marion, who wants this game to continue going. That'll be a loss of 1 through the sky for Jet Zero. It's been a fantastic defensive game plan for Sioux Falls, and Rochelle, I'll throw you into this after this play, assuming that Queen City doesn't get the first down, but they have really shut down a lot of the biggest players for the Corsairs, and they've made A.J. Caswell look human, not like a pirate. He will throw on 3rd down into traffic again and swatted. So on 4th down, Rochelle Colston, I mean, in this matchup between Sioux Falls defense and Queen City offense, full-on advantage Sioux Falls.
Yeah, Sioux Falls has kept Chris Comasack off the field totally. Not one reception, not one rushing attempt, 4 interceptions. It's an amazing day for the Sioux Falls defense.
This is for Comasack, who's their fullback, but was 4th on the team in catches and 3rd in receiving yards before today. Nothing for him. On 4th down, Caswell will throw. Nearly another interception, but the Sioux Falls defense shines bright again. Another stop for John Barnhart, who has been almost unbeatable in this game, even with the great Deezer Powell going up against him. Steven, you know this Queen City passing offense about as well as anybody, and Deezer Powell, you've sung his praises already. He's close to 10,000 receiving yards. We've been sitting on that nugget for this whole game and haven't been able to talk about it because John Barnhart has just been that good.
Absolutely. And Deezer Powell, is somebody you have to respect there on the outside. And, that's why they looked his way there on that 4th down. They needed a big play, and Deezer Powell is one of those guys that can get one for you.
We've been sitting on it, like we said. So far, 6 yards. He's now 20 away from 10,000. He would be the 7th receiver in league history to surpass that amazing milestone. And he was close last week, nearly had 100 receiving yards. And he has a receiving touchdown, got close last week against Vegas. And he's going to be close, and it's no cigar unless Queen City is able to get the ball back once again and try to feed it to him, which is something I've seen before. But they will need to get the ball back first. 3:33 left in regulation. Largest lead of the game for the Sparrows. Tyree will throw out of the backfield. Here's Wells. Shakes out of a tackle. A spin move, and Wells down the sideline. Best run for GP Wells, the league's leader in catches as a tailback, adding to a great day for Tyree. Another first down.
Yep, and that's exactly what Sioux Falls wants to do. They don't always want to run up the gut and try to get Wells going on the ground. They prefer to feed him the rock through the air. He's more elusive there on the sideline when he's already got a full head of steam, and a great job there getting upfield.
Averages 26 touches and 134 total yards per game so far today. 22 touches, 150 total yards, as you can see right there. 153 to be precise. Inside the red zone they go. Here's Wells again, who's already got 3 scores. Hit again by Jared Crow, who's had a nice game. Gain of 2.
And Wells trying to get to that average maybe of, as they're going to work their way down into the red zone here, maybe he can get those 4 more carries to get to his season, average of 26 touches. Sioux Falls definitely going to want to try to grind out this clock and, try to get to a point where Queen City's going to have to start using their timeout.
Hashtag give it to the fullback, maybe. That was my mistake. Freddie Fox on that carry, number 2 tailback for the Sparrows. Cornelius still without a touch in this game. Tyree will take his time. Straight drop back. Out of the backfield they go and pushed out of bounds. Pressure applied by Majesty. See Tyree has to pick his equipment up off the ground as Majesty. It's actually Willie Beeman, as Sioux Falls has thrown in most of the backups now. That was Wells on that target, but it was Willie Beeman, the veteran quarterback, on that throw and on that hit from DJ Majesty. So welcome to the game. Right back to the line they go. So Beeman, who has been this team's backup quarterback for a long time, now at the controls with 2:36 left in regulation and a 4-score lead. Play action. Beeman fires into traffic and really nobody home. Really the closest guys were all 3 guys wearing Queen City white and black, not Sioux Falls black and black, and it will be 4th down.
Yeah, an incompletion there really helps mitigate the damage for Queen City in this one. Happy to see the special teams unit come out.
And speaking of black, it will be Zashtel Black, the rookie, 3rd-round pick out of Memphis. Again, one of 3 rookies from Memphis on this team. One of 8 total rookies on this team, as Rochelle can tell us more about. Black, 2nd field goal today, and he got it. Sioux Falls caps it off officially from 33 yards. 23 made kicks now this season for Black, 2nd most in the league. All Sparrows tonight. Rochelle, it's now Sioux Falls is going to move to 6-4, which is amazing because, like we said, last 2 years, only 3 wins, and even more amazing because of all the new faces that they have.
Yeah, Sioux Falls has 8 rookies, which is just a huge number in this league. But they put all the pieces together and seem to be doing a great job with their team.
What stuns me is the consistency on this team. You mentioned it. 8 rookies is a lot. League turnover is kind of a given for just about every team that's not called the Baltimore Vultures, it feels. Ochoa with the chance for a return, and he gets to the 25. But what I noticed for Sioux Falls is there are only 2 players, and yeah, it helps when 8 of your players are rookies, but there are 2 players on this team that have ever played for another franchise, Kay Marion and Nick Fargo. Marion spent her rookie year elsewhere, and Fargo spent his rookie year elsewhere, but they've been with Sioux Falls ever since. And everybody else on the Sparrow roster has played their entire career with Sioux Falls. I think that's just a testament to what this team can do and how committed they were even through 2 bad seasons. They'll throw it down the sideline. Spelling had that target. Great one-on-one coverage back there again. That was Barnhart, who's patrolling this sideline this time. Man, what a fantastic game he's having. 2nd down. And Steven, it's just, again, it's just a testament to what Jason McGee and company have been able to do over the last couple of years. You keep all of these guys, especially in the secondary, and you turn around a team from one year to another, and Sioux Falls is going to be in the driver's seat for a home game in the playoffs at the end of this season after missing it for back-to-back. Firing over the middle, and it's caught again by Matthew. Good game for him.
And, you know, again, it's whenever you have a team that returns and you kind of know how to game plan, you know how to, you kind of learn how to use your players and what their strengths and weaknesses are. And so I think that's a big reason why, again, you know, you expect that consistency from their defense, you know, over time, because they have kept pretty much their core intact. And so you expect that from them because it's just always there for them. And so, you know, and whenever they have to replace people, it's kind of in chunks. You know, this season with the 8 rookies, that's a little bit different for them. But, you know, I think that it just kind of shows you that they can kind of fit guys in, and their identity doesn't change. You know, they're still going to do the things that they do, but I think a lot of that is due to the fact that they've had the time to kind of perfect what they want to do.
Look out, Powell one-on-one down the left sideline. Man, he's kicking himself. He very nearly had that milestone again, and that time he is blocked off by number 24 that's 34, Terrell Davis for Sioux Falls, who now is matched up on Powell on the other sideline, and Davis is able to make that play.
Sioux Falls, defensively, Sioux Falls really putting the clamps on the outside on Queen City.
1 catch on 6 targets, as you see there for Deezer Powell. Caswell will go away from him. Here's Zero, and Zero accelerates and gets the 1st down. Nice run after the catch for Zero, who quietly, Hacker, has been able to push over 100 rushing yards unofficially. The average isn't good, under 4 per carry, which is about his season average, but still over 100 rushing yards and close to 140 all-purpose yards.
Yeah, and steady as she goes for you know, Zero. He's one of those guys that is going to carry the load for your team, and he's going to give you about that every week. Really Queen City has struggled elsewhere in this game. You know, 4 turnovers. It really hasn't helped their case in this ball game. But you know, Zero is you know, a really strong back in the league. Definitely somebody you can rely on to give you these kinds of performances.
Caswell zips it in, and reaching back to make that catch is Spelling. He had to weather a big hit. Queen City on the move rather. Sioux Falls still has some starters in. Zero again makes that catch, navigates back into the middle of the field. He's running the wrong direction. And a gain of just one. Hustle back to the line. Corsairs still all of their starters in, less than 90 seconds left. Caswell over the middle, another catch for James Matthew Jr. and another first down to the 16. 6 catches now for the tight end. 1:10 to go. Caswell, will they make it 7? They sure will. 7th catch for James Matthew Jr., gain of 11.
They're probably going to go to him again here, Tim. He's really exploiting that matchup.
Sioux Falls is on its heels as they try to match up literally. Will Caswell go that way? He will. Back of the end zone. Caught. Touchdown. James Matthew Jr. has his 3rd of the season. 3 straight catches for the 6th-year tight end. And the Corsairs, something to smile about.
Yeah, very, very tough matchup there for that linebacker. Matthew Jr. giving him a run for the money as he just kept calling for the ball, and Caswell knew where to go. I mean, his eyes were right on the target the entire time. It was just set hut. Didn't even really have to digest anything. Just kept feeding Matthew Jr. To get into the end zone.
I wonder if there was, because of that kind of, combination of starters and backups out there. I mean, we saw Terrell Davis and John Barnhart both make plays on that drive. You wonder if, they're not quite on the same page, I guess, all told. But regardless, I mean, good execution by the Queen City offense against a mixed mash of players defensively for Sioux Falls. But the Corsairs get on the board. They're able to punch it in against Sioux Falls, which one of the best scoring defenses in the league, 25.7 points per game. That's what they allow. That's 10th best, and a lot lower than that today. 17 on the board for Queen City, and congratulations to the overbetters as the onside kick is recovered by Sioux Falls. Coverage of the Simulation Football League on Next Level Sports continues Saturday, April 2nd. First, longtime rivals Houston and Mexico City square off, and then 2 champions clash when Atlanta takes on Florida, with both teams in the thick of the wild card race. Bonus coverage includes Denver against these Queen City Corsairs and Arizona against Las Vegas. The race for the playoffs is heating up. Visit NLSE.com to find Next Level Sports in your area. And here in Sioux Falls, the Sparrows are rolling. This is going to be one of the most lopsided wins in this series history. Wells makes that catch, wrenched down by Cody Griffin. It's been kind of it. Check that. It is Fox. It's the backup tailback. Gets his 2nd touch.
Yeah, and I think Sioux Falls is going to just look to keep the balls, keep the ball moving down the field, do everything they can to keep the clock moving, as there's only 45 seconds left in Tim.
Queen City tried to stop it. They did call a timeout, but this game's out of reach, needed 24 points in 45 seconds. High formation for Willie Beeman. Here is Fox, and a spin move for Fox. He's got the first down. Tackled by Ted Haynes, who we have not talked about very much today for Queen City, 4th-year defensive back.
Yeah,
Also,
go ahead, Tim.
Oh, sorry, Steven. I just want to say, because, again, another mistake for me. I wanted to shout out Moose Mitchell, the rookie offensive guard, left guard for Sioux Falls. You can see him there, the fringes of your picture. Did not shout him out in the first quarter, so I wanted to make sure that we did there, because the offensive line for Sioux Falls has been excellent. This is against a Queen City team that had, a lot of people argue, Steven, as the best offensive line in the league. They've got a star center and 2 star guards, give up fewer sacks than anybody else. And in this game, I think Sioux Falls O-line has the edge.
Yeah, and I think you have to look at the way that Sioux Falls is their front 7 played. The gap play up front, their use of line stunts, and where they applied pressure with blitzes and just putting people in the right position was really sharp tonight. Again, I think that's something you expect from Sioux Falls. But they jumped into a lot of man coverage, which I guess with a really good defensive backfield, you would expect that. But again, whenever the front 7 is able to read the offensive line and win those matchups, get into the gap, whenever Jet Zero is a running back that likes to use those inside runs, he likes to run between the tackles. And when you're able to win inside like that, it leads to a lot of success for your team.
Well, in this matchup between 2 of the 5 winningest teams in league history, it has been all Sparrows. The last 7 all-time meetings have now gone to Sioux Falls as this game has gone final. All Sparrows here today, anchored by a hat trick of touchdowns from GP Wells. The Sparrows sink the Corsairs, and they win it at home. 41-17 is your final. Stephen Hacker, an impressive performance all told from Sioux Falls, top to bottom. Their rushing game, their pass defense, like you said, their linebacker play and their front 7, I mean, really all together. I mean, one of the highlights here for Queen City, that block punt, they weren't able to do very much with it. Sioux Falls rebounded for a big win.
Yeah, it really was. It was a really fun game. Had me excited coming into it. And I thought that, it was a well-executed game plan for Sioux Falls. I think that, I think that they went out and executed exactly what they wanted to do, and it was a good game overall. Where my mind started going, Tim, now that the game's kind of wrapping up, I started thinking about Josh Neal, who's a new addition to our stats team. He's also a strong safety for Ottawa in the SFLM, and he picked up 2 games this week in stats on his first week. So I want to give him a huge shout out and a big thank you for joining up and being a part of the team. He did a great job this week for everybody who's interested, and really excited about him being a part of the team.
And, I mean, a huge shout-out to everybody on our stat team. You and Rochelle and Mark Lopez do an amazing job anchoring that team with all the work that you guys put in behind the scenes and all the work that everybody on those teams do. And look at this. If they had A.J. Levy at 14 tackles, he officially had 14 tackles. They had GP Wells at 130 rushing yards. It's pretty much exactly what he had. So Jason McGee and Josh Neal, shout out to you two guys. Fantastic job. Rochelle, I want to give you the final word because, I mean, you got to do some scouting. You got to talk to both teams this week to learn how they wanted to attack this game. Look at that, 129 rushing yards for Wells. We had him at 130. Doesn't get any better than that. Rochelle, the Sioux Falls secondary today was just unbeatable.
Oh, whenever you get 9 pass deflections and 4 interceptions, you're just a deadly secondary. I would not want to throw against them at all, whatsoever.
Yeah, and our team knows how to throw into a secondary, I guess. But either, sorry. It's any chance it's not Wells here?
No.
No surprise. 150 total all-purpose yards and 3 rushing touchdowns. A career game for the rookie tailback, GP Wells. Sioux Falls caps off Week 11 of Season 18 with the statement win. For all of us here at the SFL, producer Cameron Irvine, our stats team, Josh Neal and Jason McGee, Rochelle Colson on the sideline, and Stephen Hacker with me, Tim Hackett, in the truck. Thanks so much for being with us. We'll see you next time. Once again, Sioux Falls, your winner, 41-17. We'll see you next time. Until then, so long.